The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, launched School Health Scheme in 1996-97, but that remained mostly a token service until recently. Under the National Rural Health Mission, a fresh impetus was given to strengthen the school health services in 2008. So now School Health Program is a program for school health services under the aegis of NRHM and as a part of Reproductive and Child Health Program. The vision of the re-emphasized school health program is to decentralize the school health through program management at the level of state. That means states have been empowered to implement their own version of school health program, utilizing their past experience, indigenous innovations, public-private partnerships, NGOs present in their states, the local health problems of children in the state, and also with the vision of convergence of other health-related sectors like education, drinking water, sanitation and nutrition at the level which it matters, that is at the grassroots level. Ultimately, all the schools in the state will be covered, whether rural or urban, in a phased manner under the program. The program at the national level has been developed only to provide uniformity and to provide guidance to the states who are already implementing the program or plan to implement their own versions of program, and to give guidance in developing a strategy to those schools who have not yet started the school health program. The guidelines are developed so that important components are not missed and to achieve optimum possible efficiency by the program. The decentralized framework of NRHM has enabled decentralization of the school health services also, and the states can devise and implement their own version of school health program under the infrastructure made available under NRHM. The ministry undertook a detailed study of the programs being implemented in various states, and after analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of these programs, broad guidelines for school health program were developed. These guidelines are used to suggest various states with planning and implementation of the program in their state. The states in turn are to report the status, performance and experience of the program, and the center analyzes these reports and adapts the guidelines and suggests strategies to states for further strengthening of the program. Components of the school health program. These components have been suggested so that nothing important is missed, and if a state is running or plans to run a school health program, following components should be included. First is health service provision, obviously, which includes screening of the children and school staff, providing treatment and referral if required. The screening should include at least the following, and the list has been developed by studying the common health problems among school children. Basic medicine kit is to be provided to the school to take care of common minor ailments, and referral cards are to be provided so that the children or staff who are referred are seen on priority basis at the district and sub-district hospitals. Immunization as per the national schedule, which means injection tetanus toxoid at 10 years of age and at 16 years of age. The immunization is better provided as a fixed day activity. All the students are to be immunized on that day, and it coupled with the education about the study about the issue, that is, should be intimated in advance about the day of immunization and about the importance of getting the immunization so that students do not miss it. Micronutrient management should be included, especially vitamin A, iron and folic acid. Weekly supervised distribution of iron folate tablets have been advocated, and administration of vitamin A among those who need it. Then deworming is to be included as per the national guidelines, which says biannually supervised schedule, obviously with prior information, education and communication, so that children do not miss it and come to school on that day and know the importance of taking it. It is proposed that the siblings of the students can also be covered for better efficiency. Provision of midday meal should be, health promoting schools should be developed. The schools should be developed so as they are health promoting. That is physically and psychologically safe and supportive environment, like including safe drinking water, adequate sanitation, which means separate toilet for girls and boys, for providing privacy and safety to girls, provision of sanitary pad to girls, keeping the schools free of violence and any discretion among the children, no corporal punishment, and provision of counseling services. Regular practice of yoga, physical education, health educations are also advocated. The schools should have a first aid corner. The school should provide school-based nutrition services like midday meals, and then health education regarding hygiene, nutrition and health practices. Some places adolescent health education also exists. Linkages with out-of-school children is also advocated. That is, those children who have either not enrolled or have dropped out should also benefit from these health education sessions. Formation of health clubs, health cabinets to promote health education. Peer leaders are better used as health educators. Suggestions regarding capacity building, that is how to increase the number of manpower which are trained in provision of school health service. Nodal teachers are to be identified by the principal. One nodal teacher per 250 students. If there are lesser number of students in the school, then at least one nodal teacher per school. Training is to be organized for them so that they are capable of providing school health services, and refresher regular trainings are also to be provided. States have been suggested to monitor and evaluate the program, and that the mechanism of monitoring and evaluation should be included from the very beginning, and can be done by formation of core management groups at the state level, district level, block level and village level. The members of the core management groups who monitor the school health services should include representatives from the Department of Health, Department of Education, Department of Women and Child Development, principals and teachers of the schools in the area, parents representative and students representative. At the state and district level, the National Rural Health Mission Director is to oversee the school health service program, and at the village level, Village Health and Sanitation Committee can oversee the school health services. The center has suggested 3 strategies for implementing the program. The first option seems more feasible, is that A&M. The present A&M can be spared once a week for providing school health service, provided she has a multipurpose male worker to help her to take care of her duties on that day, or a second A&M to take care of her duties at the sub-center on that day. The multipurpose worker, if present, is more appropriate for providing health services if there are exclusive boys' schools in the area. The second option can be that the existing A&M or multipurpose worker visits the school on fixed day for screening, treatment of minor ailments and referral of the students, and the doctor visits one school per week. The doctor from the local CHC or PHC would visit one school per week and should cover 32 schools per annum. And the selection of school for the doctor's visit can be based on the screening reports submitted by the A&M. That is, which school to visit first would depend upon the priority list that the A&M has prepared for the area. Third option can be that 2 A&Ms or multipurpose workers are engaged on contractual basis for provision of school health services. The implementation of the program, that is a state program implementation in Delhi as on 2008. The target group of the school health program in Delhi is the primary school students of all the government schools in Delhi. The number of beneficiaries is to be calculated from the information given by the Directorate of Education in Delhi. Nodal teachers are being identified and their training is being arranged. One teacher per 250 students. Training booklets have already been prepared and circulated. Students are being screened by medical and paramedical personnel assisted by the trained teachers. A school-wise visit is drawn up and the dates are intimated to the panchayats, school health authorities, students and parents in advance. Mass deworming with single dose albendazole has been undertaken. The core management group comprising of panchayat, officers of health and education departments, school authorities have been developed. Referral services are being developed. A list of referral centers have been drawn up and linkages established. That is, they have been instructed to treat the referred students on priority basis. Children who are carrying the referral slips are to be given priority treatment at the referred health facility. Format for record keeping have been developed for use by the nodal teacher. The school health program in Delhi is implemented by the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. In addition to the school health program, the Delhi government is running Chacha Nehru Swasth Yojana, which is a school health service, and is run by the Delhi government since 2011. And the beneficiaries include all the students of all government schools up to class 12th. This is in addition, that is, the school health services in Delhi are being provided by the Delhi government, also by the MCD, in addition to other agencies like NGOs and large hospitals.